in whatever shape or form it takes. And this, the more traditional end of things, gives an insight into where all of the disciplines that you may see now on television began. So, Team Japan. The judges will be looking for speed, power, ibuki, the breathing. But just look at this team here perform this NP Kata. So precise. The control and the total harmonization of mind, body, spirit. Kata contains elements of transcendental thinking, focus, breathing. The moves are designed as strikes in a combat situation, but yet you have stances held for long periods of time to develop dynamic tension and literally to draw together all the elements that the body can harness to allow it to perform at its peak. And as you can see here now, Japan demonstrating this with that team effort superbly. Oh, it's good, Joe.
Very, very good, Will. Very impressive, and to the non-karateka spectator, there's hours and hours and hours of practice goes into this for the movements, for the breathing, for the timing, and for the strikes to be point precision timing. You know, and that's what was displayed there. Now we're going to go into the bunkai of the movements, which is an actual demonstration of how the movements would relate in a combat situation.
Yes. So, as we say, it is balletic in form, but combative by nature. So now you'll see that whole kata broken down, if you like, freeze frame, strike by strike, to show just what those movements can do when interpreted through a combat situation.
Correct, Will, and this is called the bunkai. So if we look at to the right of our screen, Will, that the individual is performing the actual kata itself, and then in the middle of the mat, the competitor showing what the moves would actually do.
So that in itself, a discipline that is incredibly technical, because they're doing the complete reverse of what the kata involves, which is the strike and or the defense. But look at this. Japan are ripping it up gnarly style. This is terrific. It's like a one-shot freeze frame demonstrating the power, the effectiveness of this as a martial art. Now, Western boxing, Western forms of martial art differ greatly from the East, and we can see that all these strikes are developed to take advantage of weaknesses in the physiology of the body. As we saw the side thrust kick come up, Yokogeri Kokomi, that foot is angled just at the throat. And that's to demonstrate that even though the kick isn't powerful, its target is a weakened area of the body. So look at Japan go here. This is absolutely brilliant. There's the lock. There's the break. Oh, it's good stuff, Joe. This team is spot on.
Oh, tremendous, Will. And they're really creaming it now. The Japanese and the crowd, as we can hear, absolutely getting behind them.
Fantastic performance here from the Japanese female kata team. And again, for many people that practice the martial arts and don't really understand the implications of kata, I don't think you could get a better answer to any questions you may have.
No, that definitely will, and that's what's happening in the previous years. About 5 to 6 years ago, they brought in the bunkai, which is an explanation of the techniques which are used during kata. Whereas before in the 80s and the late 90s, it was just the kata performed. Now we can actually see what the kata does and what it represents.
Exactly, and I think a lot of clubs discounted the importance of kata in their training for more what was viewed to be relative combat skills, punching, kicking. What we see here now is the relevance, because you're able to perform the kata on your own, but this is its application. And of course, the benefits are not just in combat situation. We know that the benefits are health-giving, they're strengthening of the mind, as well as preparing a karateka for a combat situation.
That's correct, Will. And for any youngsters out there which are practicing karate, it's also great that you got this involvement, you know, with young people practicing the bunkai of kata, and it increases their social development also.
Yes. Well, as you say, it takes hours of practice for a team to perform this well. What we mustn't forget is to be your dancer or hold a black belt, to be a dan-graded karateka. That in itself takes years of discipline, of training, sometimes maybe 3 to 4 times a week, in order to attain your first dan or black belt grading. But then, as was often said to me by my